Hey there, sports fans, MK Tooligans, meant for knife and tool fans, or people, or watchers, or anyone else. So, we're shooting a video today. For one of my very first dealers ever. Boris and Maria at Desert Eagle Guns. They used to be legendary. And they were Desert Eagle and legendary, Desert Eagle back. I don't know. They're Desert Eagle up in Prescott Valley. I just love these folks. They're from, not Macedonia, but just north, somewhere in there. The borders have changed so much from when I was a kid, but that region just to the north and east of Macedonia, they look like kind of Eastern, a tiny bit of Eastern European, and Boris looks like Greek. I mean, it reminds me of my grandfather, a young version of my grandfather. You know, very family-oriented, just really wonderful folks. And they've got a shop up in Prescott Valley. We've got a batch of knives going out to them. And I think they kind of looked at me as like, because my grandfather's Greek, kind of like a Greek boy made good. And with that, there were, if you haven't grown up around any ethnic folks, ethnic Greeks, we're very much, and I'm removed, because I'm like third generation American on the Greek side. But the Greeks are very much into like, oh yeah, he's a Greek boy. And almost like Jews are about, oh, he's a good Jewish boy, he's MOT. Greeks are kind of the same way. Grewish. Greek Jewish. They have the same kind of ethnic identity, and they like connecting and seeing other folks, even if they're from that little same part of the world. And then like if you meet Turks and, like Greeks are still mad about the fucking Iliad. I mean, they're still mad about Achilles. They're still mad about the Trojan War, for God's sake. And even if you meet like a modern day Greek and a Turk, they still give each other the stink eye. So Greeks have got a very tribal identity, which is kind of fun for me. It was fun because I wasn't buried in it. I just touched on it from the outside. And so when I run into Greeks from Greece who know about MKT when I'm in Europe, they're like, I know it sounds like a small group, but there's Greeks who are into knives. They're like, oh yeah, you're one of us, a Greek boy made good. It's kind of fun. And Boris and Maria kind of had that kind of like uncle-y, grandfatherly kind of, admiration for me having the audacity to try and make a little business making knives. So I don't know, I hold them close in my heart, and they're wonderful people. And of course they like knives, which is cool. It makes it even that much cooler. So why don't we dive right in, Amy, and let's give a quick look here. Got a drop point Theseus headed out. Oh, yummy. One of the last Whippiers. Praetorian T. New style. All flamed out, drop point D2 edge. Nice utility edge on that knife. Same as this one. So this is blackout with a 3V drop point Tonto Vulcan finish. Man, that knife, it's a little stiff, but that knife's going to break in really nicely. Did you feel this?
I think I did.
Tiny bit on the stiff side, but it's just going to break in to be. I wish everybody would buy knives that way. Oh, and they've got a production Praetorian. Those are so nice since we ground the sides on them. They feel so smooth.
Ghosts.
Ghost door. Lovely, lovely. That's the production Praetorian. I hope you guys dig this knife. This was a lot of work to do well. One of the last Vulcan finish Genesis, and this is not a Genesis, this is a infraction. It's a really cool knife. I really like this.
I like the infraction
It's got
a
a
lot.
great feel to it. Anyways, 6 sexy knives headed up to Prescott. Say that really fast. And I hope you guys who are up in Prescott Valley or around there zip over there to buy yourself a badass American-made knife. And I was on the internet yesterday, and I made a few comments. And it was basically, one of them was, the USS John McCain is to nearby ships. It was like an SAT question. USS John McCain is to nearby ships as Senator John McCain is to Donald Trump. Like, look out, anyone who's supposed to be nearby or a ally, we could smash you and kill you. And then I said something else. It was, let's see. Oh, it was, I did like a fake news report, and I said, newsflash, United States Navy commanders are in light of the second ship collision in the last 2 months, Navy commanders are disheartened. Sailors had to lose their lives, but thank God everyone had their gender sensitivity training in the workplace classes this week. And somebody got back on and said, hey, it's not fun to make fun of the Navy right now. We've had 2 of these incidents and sailors' lives have been lost. And my response was, my good friend Darren, who called me and said, oh, you're going to hurt your business. I go, dude, I'm a critique. Does it sound like I'm bagging on the Navy? I am bagging on the Navy. Less time worrying about sex changes and gender sensitivity in the Navy. More time worrying about not hitting 600-foot-long ships that stick up out of the water 15 stories. What do you guys think? When I was in the Marine Corps, there was never a time ever where there wasn't a guard posted 24 hours a day on our weapons. Ever. Or we had our arm wrapped through it and we were sleeping on it. There was never a time. How is it a vessel of war with sonar, radar, a fleet around it, all of this stuff, all of these personnel, how about this, captain of the watch? Is anybody looking out the fucking window? So, in the last couple of months, we've lost a few soldiers deployed around the world doing dangerous things. And we've lost more soldiers asleep in their beds at night. Now, you tell me what's better for morale. An entire Navy that's afraid to go at sleep because some jagaloon's watching a fucking GPS screen and doesn't know they're about ready to crash into a 600-foot ship. Now they're saying it might be hacking. How about looking out the goddamn window? Nighttime, there's lights on ships, folks. I've been at sea. I don't get it. Tell me what's worse for the Navy. Transvestites not being allowed to serve as gunners' mates? Or an entire branch that's afraid to go to bed because nobody's watching? So I'm just this American out here asking, I was in the men's division in the Navy, I was in the Marine Corps. I'm just a former guy I say aye, and I refer to things as port and starboard, and I'm just wondering who's watching. This is a legitimate beef. I have a legitimate beef with my Navy. 2 times in the last 8 weeks, we've crashed vessels of war, just crashed them into other boats. How is that happening? And how many man hours have been spent on gender sensitivity training? I'm all for gals serving in the military and serving their country, and they should be able to do so in a safe and professional manner. But if it means the whole world's got to change to accommodate people's sensibilities, and we end up failing at the mission, the social experiment needs to stay at the colleges and not be out in the fleet. The Navy is a brash and bawdy place, and it ought to be. And if we have to spend so much time transforming human beings from naval nature so that gals feel safe in the workplace, there's 2 options. 1, get thicker skin to be in the naval environment. 2, go do something else. Because the 3rd option is change everybody's natural tendencies, spend millions of man hours doing gender sensitivity, crash naval ships of war into merchant vessels while driving around. A, B, or C. Take your pick. I'm a big fan of A. B and C don't interest me very much. Anyways, a little rant for your Monday afternoon. Love all you MK Tooligans. Greg Medford from Medford Knife. Amy on the camera.